What up? What up? What up? What's going on? What's going on, man? I got camera coming in and out and coming in and out. So if my camera starts messing up, I might have to do something. But I'll still be here with y'all. But what's up in the chat? What's going on with y'all? We got up, Native with us. We got Pilgrim with us. What's going on with y'all?
Doing it, man. It's the greatest Friday that's ever existed right now, and we all get to experience it together.
And this moment.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. We got some people in the chat. North Carolina girl, Doc Mac, Milkmaid, G, Cherokee, Monty, Reese's, what's up? Roots, Laura, what's going on? Mark Chesser, that's KM Keith, Spotted Fawn, what's going on with you?
Ronnie Braun,
just saying hi. What's up, Heartland? What's going on with you, man?
Heartland, my brother.
Man, we got Pilgrim Radio with us tonight, man. We gotta watch out for this young brother, man. He's in the fight with us, and he's in his 20s. And we all know how the age groups go. Usually when they're in their 20s, they don't care about the American ways and the American things, and they out there trying to chase tail and this and that and this and that. But this dude right here, he be raising a family, watching out for America, standing up for America, doing the damn thing. So if you haven't checked out his channel, please do. Nisi's gonna drop the link. Check it out. Give him a sub. I mean, it's a good channel, man. He does all kinds of cool shit over there, man. I watch it all the time. I've been on a couple of his lives. Hopefully they're still up, because we get kind of crazy over there when we go on there. But we had a good ass time a couple times, man. Y'all should go check it out. Y'all should know he hung with Hutch a bunch of times too. Him and Hutch Homestead did a bunch of shows together, man. They were real good.
Yeah, that was
still are to this day, forever.
Yeah.
No doubt, no doubt. So what's up with y'all, man? How y'all feeling this evening?
Man, I'm feeling great. My truck broke down today. The whole rear end is just screwed. It's undrivable.
Oh shit.
I mean, yeah, man. It ain't a thing, man. I'll get something. I'll get it figured out. But it happened, and I can remember a time in my life when, if that happened, I would have been like mad, angry, ill, pissed off, like worried and shit. I don't know why, man. I just have peace with it. It don't bother me. I know I'll figure it out. Lady Rowan, man, she's the best wife ever. She's like, we got this. We'll figure it out. I don't know, man. I just feel like I'm getting to a place where everything that's happened is, you know, I'm starting to realize things happen sometimes the way God wants them to happen, you know. And so,
no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt, man. No doubt. You got this, man. You gonna try to fix it yourself, or you gonna think you're gonna put it in the shop, or you think you might just go out and get another one?
I got my father-in-law. He's one of those shade tree mechanic wizards, man. He's just been doing it his whole life. He's taking apart engines and putting them back together, you know, his whole life. So he just knows it. And he's coming over and he's going to look at it with me. And we sent him a video of what it was doing. Like the wheel, you could hear it grinding. As soon as he heard it, he said, he's like, man, your rear end's screwed up. You need a brand new one. He's like, it's stripping. I can hear it. I don't even need to come over here. But he's still going to come. I still want him to look at it. If it's something that I can fix cheap, yeah, I'll get it fixed, man. I don't want to get rid of my truck. But if I can.
I tell you, man, I tell you on the bug out, I did the rear end on mine. I put leaf springs in there. I changed the differential oil where you take the pan off of the back, where your back axle, and then in the middle there's them gears and stuff.
Right.
You take the pan off and it drains all the fluid, and then you put the pan back on, and there's a little fill spot in the back, and you got to pump it in there. Right. And I took another one apart from another van so I could use parts off of it. It ain't that hard, man. It really ain't. I mean, you got to put some backbone into it, you know, because some of the bolts were really stuck, but it can be done in right out in your driveway.
Well, I mean, I believe that. I believe 100%. I mean, it's just about finding the right parts to go to that specific. It's like what's it called? Like the planetary gear. You know what I'm talking about? Where the universal joint of the drive shaft goes into it.
I know in the back, I know it was differential fluid is what I changed. So that middle ball, and then you got the axles coming out. Yeah. I think it's a differential, but you know, I was getting on YouTube watching videos how to do it and reading the book. Yeah. I didn't have no mechanic or nothing, but it worked out, man.
I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna figure it out. It'll work out. I'm gonna give myself a week to figure it out.
Yeah.
Right now. Joe Morgan, TT1. What's up, guys?
Oh, what's up? I seen Sandwich in there.
Sandwich.
Milkmaid. Tiger, what's up?
Tiger, what's up, sis? Hey, Hava.
Look, you start saying hi to people, I start saying hi to people.
I know, right? Can't help it, man. We see these folks. This is our community, man. You know this. You know what I'm saying? Man, we see them everywhere.
It's like best friends now, man. Seriously, it's like it's almost like we done went back to school, man. You know what I mean? And these are our classmates and shit. Right. You know, we all up in the pods and shit. You over there in that pod. I'm like, what up? When we go to other people's channels, like what up over there, man?
I'm starting to like migrate and inhabit like these folks like Instagram and now we got that Discord going. We start to talk to people every day on there.
Yes, indeed.
The fam, man. That's why Josh says that. The fam. Yeah, man.
What's up? He's got some stuff going on, man, or he'd be here with us too, man. He just, you know, dealing with his own things. You know how life will get you sometimes. You got to take care of some things, but big shout out to Just Josh. Miss you, man. Hope you get your shit squared away so you can jump back in the ring with us. Yeah, so what's up, Pilgrim, man? What you been up to all week, brother?
Working my ass off, man. I've been doing messing around with the garden a little bit. My personal life's gotten a lot better. You know, I revealed some information about myself a couple months ago and shit, but everything is starting to getting way better and shit, basically. You know, so that's gonna be better content for me. You know, it's gonna be, you know, my life is gonna be better beyond the content, beyond any of that stuff. Like my life is actually it was already good, but now it's gonna be like great. You know what I'm saying? So
awesome, man. Awesome.
You know, just moving up, man.
That's what's up. I seen your video making them jalapeno poppers and shit.
Yeah, man. It's cool to this is my first time ever having a garden before and to have been eating all this stuff, man. Like I usually don't like vegetables, dude, but to eat all this stuff that's come out of my garden, dude, it's changed my mind on them for sure.
Tastes better than that store-bought stuff, don't it, brother?
Yeah, dude, for sure, dude. I had my squash, dude, was I don't know. I got a lot of squash. I don't know how to measure how much I got out of it, but I did pretty decent though for first time garden. But
hell yeah, on your back porch at that. Like I seen, man. I've been keeping up with it. Like you did real good, man. Them jalapenos were huge. Your squash was huge. You had potatoes. He grew potatoes in a tub and actually had some potatoes in that joke. I was like, okay.
Thank you. Yeah, shout out to Ghost Prepper for that, though. I saw his, I was like, man, I have some potatoes. I got them from Walmart, and they started growing, the eyes off them. I was like, well, dude, I'm going to throw it in there, dude. And then next thing you know, it started growing, dude. But yeah, that was my foray into gardening.
I think we turned your mic down too low, Pilgrim. Niecy's texting me saying turn up your mic a little bit.
How about now? Is it good? I messed with it. We had it perfect a second ago.
It's alright though. I can hear you.
Yeah, perfect. I heard it. It was perfect.
Everything I do at the end of the day, though, like, and thank you for mentioning I am a family man, dude, because everything at the end of the day, that's why I got into prepping, because, and I'm not sitting here claiming to be the most, like, hardcore prepper, you know what I'm saying? I'm not sitting here claiming to be, like, a sort of survivalist or some shit, but, nobody else I know of my friends or of my age group, around my town I live at are prepping, or nobody else, like, I don't know anybody around my town that are preppers, dude. Like, because they just wouldn't think anything would happen, I guess. But
Yeah.
Just saying
I
hi
bet
to
there's
people
some.
in the
I bet
chat,
there's some
man.
close. I bet there's some close.
I think it's
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
be like an
surprised at
economic
the people I find
collapse.
out who are into prepping at all, on any level.
See, yes,
Johnny
I'm
Angel.
What do you guys, do you think? I think it's gonna be an economic collapse, though. It's gonna be like dirt poor people and shit. Like we're gonna look like Liberia or something like that.
Man, what y'all think about this? What y'all think about this Texas stuff, man? With the abortion stuff, man. What's up? I heard the Supreme Court won't even get into it, and like the liberal side of the Supreme Court is pissed off, and the other side's like, nah, I don't even want to deal with that. Am I right?
Well, I mean, the whole thing about the abortion thing is the Roe versus Wade decision. You know, I mean, that was good. That was RBG's thing. But so this goes totally against that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know the exact. You guys in the chat can fill us in on it. Like the exact length of time that Roe versus Wade allowed people to get abortions. And so in Texas now, after 6 weeks, can't do it. You know, heartbeat, man, you can't do it. So yeah, the Supreme Court don't want to touch it. A lot of these liberals are saying it's unconstitutional, but there ain't nothing in our Constitution about murdering babies in the womb. Not one thing, you know.
No sir, no sir.
So, and they're trying to throw. I saw someone did a video about one of these far leftists who was saying pro-lifers are like suicide bombers, and I was like, what?
Pro-lifers are like suicide bombers.
Yeah, people who are against abortion are like suicide bombers. I was like, what do you mean? Because they blow up people's lives. Because they want the people to have a baby. Instead of murdering the baby, they want them to have the baby, preserve that human life, and they call in us because we want that. We're suicide bombers. I don't get the logic there. They're trying to make us out to be Nazis, I guess is what it is. But you can't do that. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I just don't. You know, this is one of those subjects that goes on and on and on. Because I remember this when I was a kid hearing about this shit. Didn't the Roe versus, wasn't that in like the 60s or some shit?
Yeah, 60s or 70s. I don't remember. You know, but because of that one case, you know, it opened the door for people to get like, man, I remember during the Obama administration, they were talking about like full term abortions.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it nothing ever passed, but that's what they were aiming for. I was like, God, have we come this far?
Was that like
They do that over in Europe, in country. That's where the baby's born, and then they take it. Sometimes they take it and just set it on a shelf, and it just dies of exposure, or you know, it'll the doctor will let the first part come out, and then he does some kind of thing to snap its spinal cord or something.
That's basically that is murder, dude.
Yeah, it's murder. This ain't a popular topic, man, but this is how I feel about it, so I don't care. Free speech, man. First Amendment. You know what I'm saying?
Salute.
Straight up.
Hell yeah, man. Say what you feel. Say what
you feel. And people always bring this up. People always want to say, so if a 13-year-old girl is raped by her 50-year-old uncle, you want her to have the baby. If you want to have a conversation about very special cases to where someone's raped or there's incest or something like that, we can have that conversation. But meanwhile, let's stop killing babies and let's figure it out first. Let's do that first.
That's where I'd kind of lean on the abortion kind of deal, was if it was like what you just said, that'd be where I'd be kind of more towards like considering.
Scoot your mic closer, Pilgrim. Scoot your mic a little bit closer, brother.
That's right. But that's where I'd be kind of more considering of it, though. Like other than like, I would not like agree with it in any other way than that, you know, because you know, for most of the time though, like I read the statistic, and yeah, you can't believe every statistic, but I believe this one though. It said 98% of the abortions are not because of rape or because of incest. It's because of
exactly
sex, just having sex, being wild.
So I mean, if I was a legislator and they brought that argument up, I say, okay, well, let's write a piece of legislation right now that the only way you can get an abortion is if you can prove that happened, and then no one else can get one. because that's a good place to start.
A lot of people,
If you want
how
to
they
talk
find a
about
middle
abortion
ground.
should be legal for people who are raped, or people who little kids who are raped, or incest or whatever. If you want to do that, if you want to say that, okay, let's go ahead and write that law right now. Those are the only cases for abortion, and then we can work on that and figure out if there's even a better way.
All right, let me throw something at you. What gives anybody any right to tell a woman what to do with her body or what's inside of it?
Well, now you're getting into is that baby's not her body. You know what I mean? That's another human being's body. So if you're going to make the image, my body, my choice, then okay, then what about forcing people to get shots? My body, my choice. Is that the same argument? You know what I mean?
Oh man, you tell me I can't ask a simple question without you going there, man. Damn it.
I didn't say the
We
word
went hard right.
shot.
We went hard right. If the channel goes down, we're gonna jump over on natives, and
It's my
I'm
plan
gonna
all
make sure it
along.
only lasts 10 minutes.
I'm gonna go in there and say all the key things.
Nah, but I just figured you would come at me with something hard when I said that. You know what I'm saying? I just trying to be the,
Oh, I know.
I don't know, what is it, the devil's
I
advocate
know,
or
man,
something?
but that's what they always say. Everyone wants to say men shouldn't even have. Why not? What if a guy and his girlfriend, she gets pregnant, and she wants an abortion, and he doesn't because that's his child too. It's not just hers. It's not just her body. It doesn't exist just from her. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not even an argument. It's just another excuse for them to throw in our faces to cover up that it is murder. Even Hillary Clinton said it should be safe, rare, and legal. She said it should be rare. That's Hillary Clinton.
But I'll tell you something I seen. I'll tell you something I seen, and this might fire you up. But it was a famous actress, one of my favorites, as far as she's pretty. But she said, "Get this, down in Texas, a father could rape his 15-year-old daughter, and then turn around and turn her in for an abortion and get $10,000."
Wow.
Or some shit like that.
Okay.
And I was like, damn, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, that's a little. What do you mean, like they
Who
could do
was this
that?
actress?
Like, what do you mean? You mean it's legal? Is that what you're trying to?
No, because down in Texas, you can actually get paid. I think it's up to $10,000 if you turn somebody in for trying to get an abortion or some shit like
for
that.
trying to get an abortion. I thought you meant
Yeah.
they got $10,000 for getting
How
an
much
abortion.
trouble do they? How much trouble do they get into for getting an abortion if they get caught?
I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. That's why I brought it up to y'all, because I thought y'all knew the inside scoops and shit. But I can tell right now y'all don't know shit about it, so I don't even know why I brought it up. Oh, shit. Somebody Googling.
Hey, did you see what Constitutional Carpenter said? Men can't have an opinion. Are you assuming the gender, the birthing person?
Right.
Oh man, we get canceled now. I used all the wrong words. That's
it was
because they say I hate their arguments, man. They contradict themselves all the time. Thank you, Constitutional Carpenter, for bringing that up, because they'll say one speech they'll say it should only be a woman's choice, and then another speech they'll say, oh, but women aren't the only ones that have babies. Men can have babies too. I was like, well, if men can have babies, why can't we have a choice?
Right.
Using their screwed up logic.
I feel you. I feel you.
I can't find no info about.
Fellas, what's going on with you? Yeah, man, it's a deep subject, and I don't think it'll ever be squashed, man. I swear. I think we'll be fighting over this kind of stuff for forever. You know, unless the whole world changed and one side gets to rule everything.
Right.
You know, one side of the argument of everything. But even if one side, man, humans are fucked up. We know that, man. All the Republican side of the world right now could just vanish to aliens, and the Democratic side would split in half, and they would fucking be half and half again within a fucking week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
They go at each other any daggone way.
I mean, the one of, you know what Planned Parenthood is, right? It's like one of the main companies that does abortions. It was started by a racist white lady who believes in eugenics, which she got from the Nazis, which means you euthanize or you sterilize certain parts of a population to make sure their genetics and don't go away. And here's a statistic that should gross everybody out. Most Planned Parenthood abortion clinics are in low-income minority communities. 300,000, I think it was 300,000 or something like that in 2018, black babies were aborted in these clinics. That is genocide. Black Lives Matter, where you at for that one?
Since the beginning of Planned Parenthood, I've heard it was like 17 million or something, like either 17 or 75 million that have been killed in the black community from abortions.
Humans, man. You want to talk about a pandemic? There you go, man. Listen to those numbers. That's ridiculous.
But
they getting all this government funding, and all our taxes are paying for it.
But now I'm playing devil's advocate. You know what I'm saying, or whatever it is. I don't know if that's the right word or not, but
that's the right word.
But don't you think that there's too many humans on the earth, man?
Not at all. Did you know only 90% of the surface of the earth is inhabited? All 7 billion people were only 90% of the land surface now, not 90. Only 90% is uninhabited. Only 10% of it is habited.
I've got some shit kind of similar to that.
Think about it. They live. Most of the population centers all live in small surface areas in these large metropolitan cities. All over the world, it's like that.
No doubt,
There's
man.
Plenty of room for people, man.
This might sound crazy, but I heard that you could fit the entire population of. This might sound insane. Okay, how's it sound now? My bad. I got it. You could fit the entire population of the Earth in Los Angeles County and be able to move your shoulders and shit like this.
Yeah, I heard something like that too. Or a state of Texas could fit everybody in it, or some shit.
Yeah. People are not the size of cars, dude. You know what I'm saying?
What pisses me off? As an American citizen, and also as a native person, the federal government owns untold millions and millions of acres of land. And they're not doing anything with it. Man, they should start a program for people who want to go and homestead.
Like a homestead act?
Yeah, man, give them 100 acres to start. And if you can do something with that 100 acres, you can apply for another 100. I mean, untold millions and millions of acres all across our country. They're always talking about, there's too many people in one place. Let's move them out. We've got plenty of space to expand. You got to be self-sufficient.
Well, we can't do that, man, because we got to save a whole bunch of land for China to buy and stuff. So, we got to think about China when you talk about these things. They need some land over here in America.
Another government does not own our land. They have no right to it. I don't care how it works out. If it belongs to that Chinese Communist Party, no.
All right. Well, then we got to save some for William Gates. I mean, he needs a lot of land. So just make sure you save some for the guy. I mean.
What about that company BlackRock that's buying all the houses and shit?
Yeah, I feel you. It's a motherfucker, man. That's I'm being sarcastic.
Everyone said we're too loud. We need to shut up. Oh my God. But she didn't say that. I'm sorry. I love you. Let everyone say, hey, everybody.
What's up, Rowan? So.
Oh yeah. Real quick, before anyone else can say it, I won't be the first and ruin it for everybody. Happy early birthday to Nisi Tribe. Was it just Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Birthday.
She's about to turn 29.
62. Dang it. Phone keep going off. The hell? Y'all gotta run with it, man. When people blunt, oh shit, backwoods sending me links and shit. Like I can watch a damn video while I'm on a.
While you're live, while you're on.
What's that man up to right now?
Man, I'm about to get in trouble. I'm about to let y'all listen to this.
Do it.
This is the sound of A.B. Orton. A.B. Orton.
Okay, got you.
Oh, wait a minute.
I just want you to, right there in your seats, just shut your eyes. What you're about to hear are the sounds of metal BBs striking the side of a tin can. For every BB that strikes, it represents 10,000 lives lost in the wars of America's past. 10,000 lives for every BB. This is the reality of what is occurring in your country. The American Revolution.
Oh, man, come on now. I thought I was going to hear some BBs.
The Civil War.
Whoa.
World War I.
Oh, is it a BB?
World War II. The Korean conflict. The conflict in Vietnam. September 11th and the War on Terror. Since 1973, the War on the Unborn Child.
All those lives.
You get the point.
Still going.
That's
Millions. Untold millions.
wow. It was still going, man, but I don't want to rattle everybody's ears, but all the other shit was all the wars, and then the last one was the abortions. That's crazy, man.
But the abortions almost equal the deaths from wars, huh?
And I would think when man is doing these kind of things that God is looking down like, yep, it's time. You know what I'm saying?
Real, man.
Because I mean, they're innocent, man. You can't be no more innocent than an unborn child. You know what I'm saying?
How could anybody have ever looked at a baby or any child at all and think any kind of, like, oh, I don't. That's what I don't understand though. I besides like the special cases like we mentioned though, like, like how can a baby? That's something that should help you want to change your life. You know what I'm saying? That could help add positive, that could add a positive chapter to your life and shit.
Yeah.
That's what I don't understand though. Why? That's the whole thing about it. Like, because like I said, 98% of them,
You turned your mic down too low.
People being promiscuous is 98% of
way
it.
too much.
We're gonna get it set right here. Okay, are we good right here?
A little bit more.
Check mic 1, 2, check.
Check 1, check 2.
Yeah, you're good.
Alright, yeah, but yeah, dude, because just I don't get too deep into it, but yeah, there just seems like they want a population control type deal behind it though for some reason. Like, they don't want too many people having to be free thinking and shit. They don't want too many people to be like sharing ideas with each other. If they have lower population, they'll be able to like share their ideas better.
It's much easier to control 10 people than to control 100.
Exactly.
Mm. Yeah, plus they want to normalize this type of thing too, man. They really do. Want to normalize like murder and innocent children.
Like crime. Like, that's why people who are known criminals who did bad shit their whole life never tried to do any kind of remorseful acts for it, never tried to make up for it, who died while they were tweaking on crystal meth and shit. But it was portrayed as if they died being killed by the police and shit. I know that's very controversial and shit, but, I do believe that was kind of like, that whole thing, that was very controversial. I think that could have been handled in a different way than it was. But like, that kind of shows me it's like, well, they're trying to push for like, you can do whatever you want, and when no matter what it is, and not expect any trouble from it or any consequences from it. Like, I see videos of kids who are always like cussing out their teachers or cussing out bus drivers or like other adults and shit, like, all the time, dude. And I yield my time.
He hit you with the yield. I yield my time. No doubt. No, make sure if y'all ain't checked out Pilgrim Radio, man, check him out, man. He's a cool cat. And
Appreciate it.
Sure.
I've been on your lives what, twice now, Pilgrim?
I'd say about 2 times. Yeah, we
I
got
think
down
so.
about 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, man, it's a good time over there, man.
Yeah, there's some fun time. They were funny as hell, dude. They're awesome.
We went bonkers, I think both times too, man. We got into some conversations. I thought you might get in trouble over there, man. It's like, damn.
I've been pretty lucky so far, though, dude. I think it's because, I'm still pretty small and shit, but...
Yeah.
People will be saying, like, they'll be on that shit, and they'll be saying, like, the names of the stuff you're not supposed to be saying and shit, and we'll just keep on going.
What, like COVID-19 and vaccination and China?
Yeah, and they'll be saying shit like that, and I'll just be like... But if it's, like, somebody who I know in real life and shit, like somebody who I used to work with or some shit, like Jose or some shit like that, I'll be like, dude, chill out, dude, don't be... But, like... Other than that, though,
That dude's smart as hell, man.
Dude, yeah, he does get down on some good wisdom, dude. Like, he's trying to focus more on, like, his music deal, and he just got a house with, I think, like, 10 acres on it and shit in Virginia. So we'll probably have some good content soon.
I want to ask y'all fellas something, man. And I know Native knows, and I know I've heard Pilgrim talking about it a little bit. But where do you see the state of, I'll just call it religion. I know different people call it different things. Some people say, I'm not religious, I'm something else, or, all that stuff. But it seems to me that religion is like slowly being destroyed, and the youth are not picking it up as much. Now, maybe it's just where I'm at, or maybe it's just the stuff that I see, but it seems like it's like fading. It's not as strong as it used to be. You know what I'm saying? And I could be wrong. I'm just asking y'all, what do y'all think, man? Kind of deep.
You want me to go first?
Sure.
All right. Well, I mean, me and you've had this conversation before, but to me, there's church folk and those who hold the religion, and then there's I mean, whatever label you want to call yourself, Christians or whatever denomination, but someone who really lives the faith, you know what I mean, and believes that there is a real God, believes there is a creator, and then you have the people who believe in the business of church people, church folk. That's what I call them. Going to a building don't make you, a follower of Jesus Christ. And so I think over the decades, the corruption that's filled the whole world that we see in our government, what we talk about fighting all the time, it's entered all aspects of our society, even church, man. And that's why you see all these hypocrites, man, who all these big mega church preachers and stuff who are doing all these bad things, are millionaires, they're in it for the money, they're in it for the business part. And then you go to a little country church, and you got an anointed man of God who don't care about all that stuff, who struggles to pay his own bills so he can be a full-time pastor and help and feed his flock, man. And he's got an anointing, and you go in there and God's there, and you feel the presence of God, and you live it, and you believe the word every day. You're in God's word, and you just believe God said what He meant and meant what He said. And then you got all these other religions, and all these church folk. To me, church folk are a bigger problem than any other religion. Anyway, I can talk about this all night, man. I yield my time.
What do you think? What do you think, Pilgrim?
He summed it up pretty eloquently just now and shit, like, but I think that, like, the reason people are getting turned off of religion is the same reason people are getting turned off of, they're getting turned off of being patriotic as well. Like, it's been because of maybe squares in the past or judgment from people and shit that might have, that might have thrown them off about it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm probably the only person who's a Christian that I know, like, even old people around where I'm at. Like, not that I know, but I know, like personally, like, that I work with or that are friends with me or I'm friends with my wife and shit. Like, like, that, you know, because like you said, it's not about a church. It's about believing in, you know, Jesus Christ is your God is what makes you a Christian, you know, and also trying,
Right.
you know, trying not to fall back into bad ways or do anything that, you know, that's contradictory to what becoming a new person is. But everybody makes
Right.
mistakes. But
Yeah.
the but yeah, people don't want, because like they're afraid. Like I haven't gone to a church in forever. I just want to go to church, get my son dedicated and stuff and all that stuff. But you know, I'm just so afraid of the judgment, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like of going inside of that building, like, you know, just because, you know, and there are some places, you know, I'm sure it'd be like you just said, like, but I just haven't. It feels like society makes it harder for me to find time to go to church because it makes me go. I'm forced to work on Sundays.
Right. I hear that, and I saw a chat go by. I think it was POTB talking about denominations. The splintering are causing it. They have caused it. There are over 10,000 different denominations, you know. But to me, I don't really believe in denominations. I think when we get in heaven, we're going to be surprised who's there and who's not. I really believe that. I believe people from all denominations, you know, being a part of a church or being a member of a church isn't what saves you either. It's your personal relationship with the Creator. And we all stand before Him, you know, naked. No one's going to be there with us. We're not going to be able to point the finger. We all have to live for Him in our own way, the way that He leads us to do, you know. And we're not perfect. We're not going to all be the same. We're not all going to serve Him the same. He knows, though.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, I'm gonna hit you with another one, man. You know, me and the questions, dog. Me and the questions, dog. The shit that's been going on for centuries, man. You got Muslims, you got Christians. Do you think that'll ever be able to get together and be okay on this planet, or are we just gonna live with this forever? Because it's like it's been forever. Are we ever going to be able to work that out and Christians and Muslims be on the not the same side, but friends?
I mean, I think we already do see it. I think we already see Christians and Muslims being friends. But the followers of fundamental Islam are not. I mean, they're not allowed to do that by their beliefs. That's why countries like Afghanistan, when they're ruled by the fundamental Islamists, they revert back to the Middle Ages, like a medieval time period.
Exactly.
And because of their fundamental beliefs, because they're Muslim American citizens, you know, who live at peace with Christians every day, and Jews and everybody. And but because their religion, the fundamental part of the religion teaches them to hate anyone who doesn't obey their law, and they call them infidels. And their God teaches them that they're worthy to die. And if you kill yourself killing an infidel, you go to heaven and, you know, get 70 virgins.
Right,
that's their belief. So, I mean, but even in Afghanistan, there was an underground church there. Like Christians who lived there and had underground services and worshiped God and served Jesus. And a lot of the former, like, Green Berets and Navy SEALs who were over there evacuating, they evacuated a lot of these people. Glenn Beck spent $2 million in his own private jet to go fly over there and get 1,000 of them from the underground church out of Afghanistan. So I mean, they're
right.
Yeah.
I feel you. All right, I got another one, man. Do you think that somebody who doesn't follow religion and doesn't follow, you know, not I wouldn't say an atheist, but somebody who's not very, you know, doesn't read the book, doesn't do prayers all too often, lives a, you know, a bad boy lifestyle, do you think that that person could be chosen and end up being a prophet? Or do you think it has to be
100%? Because if you look in the scripture, God did it all the time. King Cyrus wasn't a Jew. He was a not Babylonian. Gosh, what is it, guys?
Persian.
Persian.
He was Achaemenid.
Yes, thank you, brother. He was a Persian king, and God anointed him and called him his anointed one, who would restore Israel after God sent King Nebuchadnezzar. He anointed him to go in and destroy and judge Israel because they had turned away from God. God anoints all kinds of people. Balaam, the prophet that God made the donkey speak to him, he wasn't, you know, I mean, he didn't even serve God, but God had this anointing on him. He had called him to be a prophet. there was a captain. I think he was, what was his name, Niacin or something like that, brother. And he served this. I want to say Philistine or Assyrian. Gosh, I haven't studied these scriptures a long time, but they're just coming to me. And he went and he got healed by one of God's prophets, and he said, "I have to. If I don't kneel to my king and pray to him or to his God, I'll get killed." He said, "But I want him to know. I want your God to know that I serve him for the rest of my life. And when I'm kneeling, I'm really kneeling to him." And God accepted that. So I mean, like I said, it's between each individual and God. No one else can tell us how specifically in our lives to serve God. We have to seek God's face for that. You know what I mean? We have to talk to him and see how he wants each of us to live our lives.
I'm gonna get a little. I'm gonna get a little weird, man. But me and you have talked, and you know, I've told you before. Nisi's seen it, and I'm sure this happens to a lot of people. But there's a lot of times when like you don't really hear a voice, but something tells you something's gonna happen, and it like sometimes it almost happens exactly as you thought it would happen, and there's like no other way to know that was gonna. Why did you get that feeling? I've had some weird shit come into my mind, and then 2 days later, I mean, I've had feelings somebody was gonna die and almost called it to a pinpoint. I've had thoughts of weather and what was gonna happen with the weather, and then 3 weeks later, the exact thing happened. What do you think that is, man? Do you think that has something to do with God, or do you think that that's just being connected to the earth, and maybe some people can read into it a little bit better? Or
I think it's both, man. I mean, this earth is God's creation, for one thing. This universe is God's creation, and it's still a part of Him. God is in everything. He really is. And so, thank you, Farmer Son. He said it was Nehemiah, but anyway, and I was actually, this is weird. I was talking to a guy about this exact thing this morning. I brought up the point that I believe, because God don't do anything in vain. So if He created you and sent you here, He sent you here for a very specific purpose. He anointed you with gifts or whatever you needed in order to fulfill that purpose. But it's up to us to walk that road in God's perfect will. And I said, man, there are so many people who live their whole lives and never realize their full potential just because they don't serve God, because it's never revealed to them. Like even their gifts that God gives them, they might stumble on them and they might use them, but they never fully develop into what God was going to use them to, in those gifts. And I mean supernatural gifts too. I'm not just talking about the talents and stuff He gives us. That's just icing on the top. I'm talking about something deep and spiritual inside of us that God has anointed us to do on this planet, to serve His will, His perfect will. And the dude I was talking to, I give him credit for this one. He hit me with this nugget. He said a preacher told him this, that the graveyard is full of untold miracles that no one will ever witness because those people died out of the will of God, not knowing their full potential and anointing. So I think that, man, those feelings that some people get, the intuitiveness and stuff like that, and I think people, they miss it and they say, oh, I'm psychic, and they go off on some, tangent. Instead of recognizing, man, God has really given me insights to stuff, and praying for harder and better insight and develop that gift that He's given us.
That's deep, man. That's deep.
Makes sense.
I know some people, man, in my lifetime. I know some people that I know really well. They're really close to me, and a couple of them, man, they're like, they look at people who believe in God and stuff. They truly do look at them like, man, they're stupid, man. Like, it's not real. It was put here to keep control of the people. Like, it's not real, and they really don't believe. You know what I'm saying? And
they get mad about you and you talk about it.
It's kind of scary. It's kind of scary to think, like, because these people, and they're not all that bad people. You know what I'm saying? Like, they live their life in good ways and shit. But to think that I know that they really mean what they say, and that probably are not going to be accepted upstairs when the time comes to hit. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's just, I don't know. It's just weird. I ain't educated on this
You know
stuff
what, man?
whatsoever. But
There is nothing. There's only one thing. Like, this is from the Bible. There's only one thing that keeps us out of heaven, and it's blaspheming against the Holy Ghost. Jesus himself said that's the only sin that's not forgiven. And it's only because once you choose to blaspheme the Holy Ghost, that's how we come to Christ. That's how, you know what I'm saying? That's how we come
explain
into
that to
the right.
me.
What?
The blasphemy, man. I never really had anyone explain it to me in a way that really hit home with me. Like, what is it
Right.
to
Okay, so I asked the preacher the same thing because, I mean, no one wants to do that. No one wants to commit the only sin you can't be forgiven for. So I asked him that, and he said, you know what? If you're worried that you've committed it, then you probably haven't. Because when you blaspheme the Holy Ghost, you willingly know who, like the presence of God, you willingly know. You've experienced it. You know it for a fact that the Holy, Jesus is the way to God. He's the only way that mankind is redeemed and brought him back into the righteousness of God. So once you know that 100%, and then you turn your back on the Holy Ghost, you're doing it willfully, like like the angels did. The angels saw God in all of his glory, the ones who followed Satan. And that was blasphemy, the ultimate blasphemy. How could you make that decision, looking God in the face, and turn your back on it? It's kind of like that. So it's not something that's easy to do. Like, I've heard people say that I'm close to who've never been saved, they've never been in church, or they don't believe in it, curse the Holy Ghost, and everyone's like, oh no, he blasphemed, he can't get saved now. And then they would get saved, and they would be so scared to death that they had done it, but they did it in ignorance. They didn't know what they were doing. You know what I mean? So it is something that's hard to do. But, I mean, in my opinion. Hey,
sorry, Pilgrim. We ain't trying to leave you out or nothing. I just
No,
Native.
dude, I'm taking it all in. Nah, dude, I'm listening to you guys. Keep it going. That's awesome.
Yeah, Native gets into it, man. I know he knows what he's talking about.
The explanation given like that about like, I've heard about blaspheming against the Holy Spirit and stuff, but I've never heard that. Like, you really put a good explanation onto it just now. Like, that makes sense, man.
Like, imagine you're a minister. You're called to preach. God uses you. You feel literally the Holy Ghost in you, like moving you and through you, anointing you, and maybe God's used you to do miracles, to heal people, and you've seen all these signs and wonders, and God is real and everything he says 1%, and then you decide to turn away. That's blaspheming the Holy Ghost. You've lived the life. You know who God is, and you decide to turn from him willfully.
All right, let me ask you this, and this will be the last question about this, man. And I'll let y'all run with it, man. Whatever y'all want to talk about. I'm really interested. I need to just sit down and talk with you, Native. You in Arkansas living. I want Arkansas living too, because that dude goes deep and tells me some stuff.
He does. I don't know if he knows this, man. His Bible studies are good that he does. They really are. They're down to earth and good, hardcore, like grounded Christian Bible teaching.
It's just some people you can listen to. They don't shove it in your face. They don't like strangle you with it. It's just there. You know what I mean? It's not intruding.
Right.
It's like I'm supposed to be here listening to this when I listen to you in Arkansas living. But anyway, so this might be a little controversial, but what about the religions that are not Christian, like, Muslims or Buddhists and all that? So they won't be joining the heavens? You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's how I feel about that. Something I mentioned earlier, and this is a personal belief for me, and I use scripture to back up this belief. But a lot of people, especially in the Pentecostal circles that I grew up in, deny this and reject it outright. It's called the Nicene Way, and it's about that foreign captain, that soldier who was healed. He had gosh, come on, Art Living, I know you know his name, but he was asked to dip himself in the Jordan like 7 times, and on the 7th times he was healed of leprosy. That's what it is. I'm gonna have to go back and study this. I feel ashamed. I can't remember these people's names. But and because of that, he knew God was real and he wanted to serve him. But he knew he was also a soldier and he had to go back and do his duty for his king. But if he openly proclaimed, so God accepted him, and he probably never knew anything other but than that, to do the right thing. And so the Nicene Way are people who genuinely just want to serve God, in their religion. They don't really know anything else. They've never, think about people who've grown up in these medieval, Muslim countries. All they want to do is serve God, but that's all they know. They're not allowed to learn to read or write, but they're righteous people. They do what's right, in their hearts. They think they're serving God. I think there's innocence in that. Like the native peoples here in the United States of America before the missionaries came. They were innocent, but I think there was a righteousness to let me put it this way. When we become Christians, the whole point of it is so that we can become righteous through the blood of Jesus Christ, through him being the sacrifice for us. Righteousness means in right standing with God. So I think people who truly seek to do that, to serve the Great Spirit or the creator of all things, different native peoples had those beliefs. A lot of the native tribes were monotheistic. They believed that there was one God who created everything. And they believed in evil spirits and all these different things, but they'd never heard the gospel or anything about, the religion of Judaism or whatever. They didn't know who Moses or King David was, but I think they tried to do what was right according to, and I also think God would give, like I said, we were talking about anointings and gifts, that God would reveal certain things to them. And actually, there was a chieftain called Black Elk, and he was given a vision. And he said it was from the Great Spirit. And he said, I've already sent my son to the earth. You need to worship him. And his name is Jesus Christ. He wrote a book about it. So that's kind of where I lean towards that.
Going deep. I get caught up. I wasn't even looking at the chat. I said, oh man, I got to look at the chat. But I was listening, man.
Get old prepper in the house.
The teachings of Mormonism, I know they're heretical and shit, but have you heard, they're like in the Book of Mormon, that's talking about how the Nephites and the Lamanites were the Native American, the Jaredites were the exiled tribes from different points of Israel's history came there, and that was the Native Americans.
I don't believe that.
I don't believe it either, but it's crazy how it was their whole and Mormonism is not a cool thing. It is a cult, and it's it's a racist religion too and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's definitely not cool, because they believe.
What's the dude's name? Pilgrim? What's his name? Something.
Who found the golden tablets in he was 14? Joseph Smith. You're talking
Joseph
about
Smith.
Dude, yeah, he was 14 years old, dude, and he did it so that way he could have sex with multiple women.
Right.
Dude.
Oh, I believe that 100%. If you ever read the story of him finding the tablets, he had to hide them in a hat because no one could look at them but him. Dude. So he was looking in there and reading the tablets to a dude who was subscribed. It's really stupid. And the name of the angel was Moroni.
Yeah. And that was the father of Mormon, or Moroni, because Mormon was Moroni was an angel. Yeah, but because you can become an angel when you die, though. They believe you can become a god when you die.
Right.
But they believe that the Native Americans
You gotta come up on your mic, brother. We gotta get that mic straight. We gotta get that damn mic straight.
Since he Tactical said I need to prep volume. But they believe that the Lamanites were they won the war. The white Native Americans died in a war against the Lamanites, they believe that they were cursed to be different from each other and shit, dude. I don't go too deep and shit. I'm not trying to sound offensive or anything insane like that, but this is just that. And I learned all this from watching an episode of South Park, dudes. And I yield, and I'm saying you could learn everything you want to learn about Mormonism from that episode of South Park, dude. Yeah, and that explains the whole thing. They sent me a free copy of the Book of Mormon, dude. and they it was two hot chicks that came to my like the two missionary chicks and shit. Like they wasn't trying to be like, oh, here's two hot chicks and shit, but I just thought I was like, are they trying to convince people to be Mormons and shit? Like, I don't know, it was just weird. But I had that book for a while. I read it a little bit. It was just a very weird book, the Book of Mormon. Though it's like a fictional. It's like King Arthur or some shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like a fairy tale kind of.
They take that stuff seriously too, man. Like I like to talk to them, man. I ain't afraid to talk to them. If they find that you know a lot about Scripture, and you start, they are trained to leave because their leaders don't want them to get converted. So,
oh wow,
it's crazy, man. Dude, I read a book. I need to find that book. It's called Lucifer Dethroned, and it's about this preacher and his wife, who at first started out, they were Wiccans, they were witches and warlocks, and so that was their religion. And he said they just kept trying to grow and get more into like the dark arts and spiritual arts. And he talks about all the strange stuff that happens and the magic spells they would cast, and it led them into Satanism. And he said there's like 3 levels of Satanism or something like that. First, it's like the Church of Satan. It's the commercial version. You just become a member. And then you get deeper into it, and you realize that Satan is a real person who you're selling your soul to worship and all this stuff. But he gets deep into it. He gets all the way up to the Illuminati, and he talks about all this weird demonic stuff that's happening, man. It's crazy. It's eye-opening stuff. And then he realized they need to get out of it. And so to get out of it, they became Mormons. And he talks about that, and he talks about the hierarchy of the Catholic Church. It's ties to Satanism and spiritualism and all this stuff. It was a really eye-opening book because it's a true story. It's called Lucifer Dethroned by William Schnodlin. But he talks about how he goes to this guy who's going to baptize him into the old Roman Catholic Church. He'll be a high priest. It was another level of mysticism or Satanism or whatever. And so he had to spend the night in the guy's house and apartment. And he said, I'm not going to tell you what happened in the ritual, but all I can say it was sexual vampirism. That's what he said. So he slept on the couch, and he said it was the most terrifying night. He's like, here he was, a high druid, warlock, priest, whatever, a high-ranking member of the Church of Satan. And he said he was scared to death to sleep on this dude's couch because there was this plant. He said to this day he doesn't know what species this plant was. He said he's never seen it in his life. But he said during the night, the shadows of the plant was moving. Like there was a wind or something, but it was inside the apartment. Like in the moonlight, the shadow of the plant was doing all kinds of things. And he said, I can't explain it, but the shadows are moving towards me in a sexual way. And he said, there are all these weird paintings on the wall that look like an insane person did a finger painting. And he said he would wake up like that, and the paintings would be rearranged on the walls all night long.
Wow.
Anyway, he talks about how they finally found God in Christ, and how they started revealing all these things about the occult. It's really eye-opening to the power of God, really. That's one thing. It's a good book if you want to get deeper into some of this stuff that goes on behind the scenes and that we don't really see. The stuff people don't want to talk about, like demonic possession and all that stuff, devil worshippers and what they do, what they actually do, and it's crazy. And how to fight
it out.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, people would jump at the chance. The devil's got it so easy, man. The devil could offer. There's so many people the devil could offer $100,000 to, and they would jump like that, man. I mean, people do it all the time. How many people do evil things to get rich? Like when people say money is the root of all evil, I can feel it, man. It's craziness.
The love of money is the root of all evil. Yeah. All
right, man. Well, we can switch it up, man. We ain't got to talk, Bible stuff. But I do want to say this, and trust me, man. I thought on this for months. I really did. I thought on this for months about the membership. Native, I talked to you about it 10 million times, man. And finally, I weighed it out and was like, man, it's probably good to do memberships. You know what I'm saying? One of the reasons is probably YouTube probably likes it when you take advantage of whatever the hell they throw at you for a channel. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm really nervous about it. I really don't feel comfortable doing it. So that's why I haven't really said anything. But to everybody who's became a member, I truly appreciate it. And we're going to have some fun with it. And it's not going to take away from the regular channel. I'm still going to do everything that I always do on the channel. So don't think that you got to be a member to be hanging with Tribe. Like, you don't have to do it. I'm doing it for a couple different reasons, but trying to do whatever YouTube wants us to do to keep us going and not take us off the air or ban us or whatever. If you don't take advantage of what they throw at you, I think they hurt you a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To try to get you to do what they want. But so I just want to say thanks to everybody who became a member. I really appreciate it. I just probably won't talk about it much at first because I'm so nervous about it, and I just feel bad doing it for some reason. I don't know, man, but I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky.
Secret live, the Secret Society live. What?
yeah. I figured, it'd be kind of cool. We were trying to, through the last couple of months, I've been thinking of names. Like, what could you even call a membership? And then I was like, Secret Society. That's pretty neat. Right. Probably some people be like, nah, man, I ain't playing that shit. I ain't be joining no secret society, man. You out your mind. ain't no Illuminati going on. You gonna have me up here doing the symbols and shit with the eyeballs and shit. Yeah. But anyway, I appreciate y'all, man. Just know that I really do. I truly appreciate it. But man, what else been going on, brother? What else been going on in the land of the world news? Man, I seen North Shore put out some shit where they're going around asking people who lives in their house and have they got the thingy and how many animals they have, and then good Lord, man, every day I think about Homestead Oz and the shit that they're going through, because man, it scares the shit out of me to think that might be going down here pretty soon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm with you. Go ahead. I yield.
Yield your time. All right. I appreciate it. The gentleman from South Carolina recognizes the gentleman from Maryland who has yielded his time.
No doubt.
Yeah, man. I you know what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to figure out the connection.
Easy.
You laughing. I'm trying to figure out the connection between them pushing the vax so hard and destroying the economy and purging our military, purging law enforcement, or at least the Capitol Police. I think they've already done that, man. Like the way they're pushing that dude who killed Ashley Babbitt, that cop, the way they had him up there with Lester Holt, and he's talking about how he's a hero and stuff. He said it twice, man. He said he's a hero for shooting an unarmed lady. And his explanation was stupid and it made no sense. He said he couldn't see her hands. Her hands were the first thing through the hole she made in the door. And there were cops all around her, like behind her. She came through cops. He lied and said he heard shots fired. He lied. The only shot fired was his. And they're parading him around, But,
I had a thought last night. I was actually talking to Backwoods. And, there's been a lot of talk about why we did what we did in Afghanistan, right? People, some people say, we needed to bring them home because of the stuff going down with China and Russia. We needed to get them out of there because of the stuff going on with Iran, China, and Russia, and maybe we needed to get our peoples up out of there. Maybe they just wanted to end the war and get our people up out of there. But then I thought about something, man, and it sure seems like our government is very worried about their own citizens. Yeah. And it just made me think that if they were really that worried about us, they would probably want every military person they got to be here ready to stand up against the American citizen. So I thought maybe that's one of the reasons they brought them all home, because they think something's about to go down here. You know what I mean?
Well, you heard what Biden said. It was the biggest airlift in the history of the world. No one's ever did it. He said 130,000 people were evacuated. Most of those were not Americans. Most of them were Afghan refugees that they brought over here. Who'd they bring over to our country, man? And where are they now?
Yeah.
That's what I
Where
want.
the hell are they? Who the hell
what
are
are
they?
they doing? And I think they know they've got a short time to get things in place, because they're not stupid. The people in charge aren't stupid. When I say the people in charge, I don't mean the Biden administration. That's a puppet regime. None of them are pulling the strings here. They're just doing what they're told. I know. I make fun of Biden every day, and I will, because he's a joke. Wake up, man. I mean, these two political parties have screwed us for 70 years. And here we are now. The people are waking up in record numbers, man. Record numbers. I believe, man, there's 150 million people ready to go. I mean, you see the people who are already calling, let's do something, let's act. People who want to go somewhere and do something. And I'm not saying that's not right. I'm not saying we shouldn't. The thing is, where do you go? I think Milkmaid has brought this up. She's with us, but where do we go? Where's the battle? See, that's the thing. They're waiting for us to do that. And if we do that, we're going to play right into their hands. That's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for that Black Swan event. It's going to kick it off.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's why the lieutenant colonel kind of got me excited, because it sounded like he had a plan and he had resources, and I think he does. So we'll see what happens.
I want to do a quick shout out, man. Just a quick shout out. Let our peoples know there's other peoples out there reaching out to us, and we reaching out to them, and we trying to, we trying to be connected in the community, man, with some cool people. So I wanted to give a shout out to Liberty Warrior 2 for having us on the show. Me and Native, we got to go over there. He invited us over, man. It was a pretty good show, man. I enjoyed myself. But I also wanted to shout out a channel that I think, is pretty connected to Liberty Warrior 2, and it's called The Search for Truth. Real cool dude, man. I just started watching him, man, but I enjoyed the show. I think the dude is a really solid dude, really nice guy, man. So if y'all want to check it out, man, The Search for Truth. And there's also another one I just found. One more, and then I won't be shouting it out. But I was watching this earlier before I went live, man. It's a pretty good show, man, and it's called Cold Beer Confessional. And it seems like a pretty good show. So if y'all never heard of these channels, man, y'all should go check them out, man. They're pretty cool channels. But appreciate you, Warrior, for having us on. Liberty Warrior 2, man. Appreciate that, man. That was really cool, man.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Yeah. All right, man. All right. Now we back at it. 1 hour in. I know Pilgrim's being real quiet tonight.
I'm taking it all in, so I took my sunglasses off now.
It's kind of like it's kind of like pressure, huh? Like you've been on my show before and we all hang out, but when we like do special guests and it's Pilgrim Radio, it's like, oh shit, you on the spot.
Different, I just wanna.
I have to
take it all in.
Yeah, it's all good though, man. It's all good. How's the little one doing, man? How's your little man doing?
He's probably about like 35 pounds, dude. He's about to be 1. He's doing good, though. You know what I'm saying? He has a good mama. He has a good daddy. So, he's a good life. But, yeah, he's doing good, though, for sure. His first birthday is, she was wanting to get him, like, some kind of $500, like one of those Jeep things, like those little kid cars. And I'm like, girl, he's 1 year old. He's not gonna be able to play with that shit for another like 5 years, dude.
Well, I tell you though, I got my son one when he was 5, and for like 2 months it would just go in circles because he couldn't steer it or anything.
Yeah.
But man, if you get it for him, I guarantee you he'll learn quick as hell, man. Next thing you know, he'll be cruising.
Yeah, man, that's what I'd like. That's what I definitely like, dude. I know one of my buddies, dude, who's he's going through a shit at the fan kind of scenario right now himself because he just does not understand the concept of like you need to have a job or some kind of income of some sort, like. But he just cannot. But he Damn, I kind of lost track of what I was saying there for a second. Can you guys bring me
Squirrel!
back? Oh my god. I was about to get into a good one too. I was about to make you guys be like, what?
Happens to us all, man. Happens to
Damn
us all.
it.
Hey, I do want to do a little shout out, man. I don't want to be somebody who's really close to us, man. Hutch Homestead.
It'd be cool if he was on here.
I know, but I want to let the chat know, and I want to, because he's got a lot of love in the community, and we all know, he lives pretty much off grid. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he does the damn thing, but they demonetized him.
Really?
And for for 3 months, and for somebody like Hutch, man, he worked hard to get to that monetization, and he didn't even do anything wrong to really get demonetized. He was trying to build something for the community, that movie, and he put a clip on. The clip got, they banned him because of this clip, and he didn't even put it. He was just loading it so he could put it in the movie and clip it up.
It was a private video.
So I just wanted to let the community know, if any and all donations to Hutch's channel is very well appreciated, and he could probably use it, because you get demonetized. He worked real hard to get there, and then YouTube messes him up. So he plans on that. Everybody does, man. I mean, it's like getting a side job, and then you get it, and then you realize you ain't gonna get a check for 2 months because they hold something or something, and then you're like, what? I thought I was getting a check this week. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So if anybody wants to donate to Hutch's channel, man, to help this dude keep it going, it would be much appreciated. And you can do that. I think he has his PayPal in his description or something, right? Cash App. Yeah, but if you got an extra $1 or $2 and you can go over there and help Hutch out, boom. I know he would appreciate it. And he ain't the type to ask nobody for nothing. So I'm probably going to get like cussed out up and down tomorrow when he finds out I said this shit. But I just wanted to put it out there for the community. If you got an extra $1 or $2, really, I think Hutch could use it. It would help his channel out a lot.
Now, how would he get monetized again? Was he just have to delete that shit, or?
I'm not sure, man. We'll have to ask him, but I think it's just a 3-month thing, and then he can get back at it. But man, he's working hard on his channel, man. He's been working hard on this damn movie that he's doing.
Hell yeah! Dude.
I can't wait, man. I
can't wait to see that shit either, dude. Like, you guys put some shit into it and shit, dude. Like,
yeah,
that's gonna be badass, dude. I put some shit into it too, dude. It's good.
Oh, did you? Oh,
yeah.
I can't wait, man. He's got a bunch of people lined up.
One of my scenes was I got a what's it called, a 18 and above only, because we did like this fake party and shit that led up to me waking up, and it's like 6 months later, shit hit the fan and shit, dude. Like I fucking but I was like, because we was doing we brought I brought a bag of sugar and shit, dude. You know what I'm saying? I was acting like we were smoking PCP and shit, but. Yeah, but I felt, I was like, am I getting in trouble because I put this on here? I didn't even put it out for the public to watch.
Yeah. You see that? You see that, Pilgrim? We gotta get that mic right, man.
Damn it, dude. We had it right at the beginning. I don't know why I keep on messing with it. I keep on twitching with all this shit.
Right there. Just don't mess with the volume part of it. Just right there.
No more.
Yeah, you sound good now, man. It's like perfect, tell you the truth.
Whenever I'll have my my headphones though, I'll keep on being afraid that my headphones will put an echo out.
Right. You good though. You good.
But,
sound perfect.
On the topic of children though, real quick, I probably want to have like 12 more kids, you know what I'm saying? Maybe something like that and shit. But we'll see what happens to Mrs. Pilgrim and shit. I feel like we're getting, I feel like that could be the next step. And I'm like, girl, let's have another baby. Let's do it. Let's good. Like,
yeah, no doubt.
Ragnarok's got a big fan of man. Ragnarok Prepper in the house. What's up, brother?
Yeah.
He's
What's
got a big
up? Let me ask you, Pilgrim, man. How old are you?
I'm 27.
And you prep, right?
Yes.
Now, see, that's you don't see that too often. A young man, 27 years old, and he preps. You know what I'm saying? He's a prepper. He's one of us. Yes. Do you
One of
catch
the chosen.
right? Do you catch slack from your friends for being a prepper, man?
A little bit, but my close friends though, like Buddy Crocker or Graze the Bush, my best friends I've had since we were like 10 years old. So that's 17 years of friendship. These dudes are like, we always influence each other. So these dudes are definitely getting more into the prep. And Buddy Crocker's about to get in some land of his own, like I think 5 acres or some shit too. And yeah, those guys, but other people like who are kind of my friends, people I know from work and shit, because you know like. They'll act like it's like some kind of connected to some kind of political shit or something like that, or it'll be like, oh, you're into Trump and shit because you're talking like, I would say, no, I'm just in, you know, a little bit of survival, a little bit of hiking, you know, a little bit of camping, a little bit of gardening and shit.
Right. So tell me this, man. What made you like get into prepping, man? Like what do you worry about, man? What do you think about everything that's going on and stuff?
It was honestly, man, whenever all the riots started going down last year. It wasn't even the vid stuff. It was whenever all the riots went down after George Floyd and all that shit. Like that, and it wasn't because it's because like I could the way it was being handled and portrayed in the media, dude. I was like, oh my god. And because I feel like it's gonna be, there's an economic collapse that's heading towards us, dude. And like I don't want to have, because you hear about what happened in Russia and what happened in China and all these different countries whenever they had economic collapses. Like when they had bad economic collapses, like they were cannibalizing each other and like their own children and shit, dude. Like I don't want to have to get up to like I want to be able to. You know, 5 years later, we can emerge and be like, oh, yeah, you know, there's only like 10% left of the population. Now we can negotiate.
Yeah.
And that's what had me thinking about it.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Silverback.
Hopefully Pilgrim can, like, you know, get some, you know, because there's young people on YouTube that he'll probably connect with because his channel, they know his age and stuff, and they push stuff out to people of age brackets and
I like to talk to anybody and everybody. Dude. I picked up this guy. He was probably about 60-something years old. Like, but he just gotten out of jail. You know, he reminded me of like of a dog or some shit that was on the side of the road or some shit. I know that sounds messed up, but like the way he was just like the set, and he was like, "Hey man," I was like, "Oh man, I have some extra food right here because I just did a DoorDash and shit," and I was like, "Here's this food," and he was like, "Can I get this ride?" And I was like, "Ah, man, I don't know about that, dude." And then I went around the corner and I was like, "Ah, fuck it." And I turned back around and I was like, "Hey man, you want this ride, dude?" And I gave him this ride, and he started telling me the most insane stories you've ever heard in your whole life. And I would like to get him on. But
I hear that.
It's just these little things, dude. I got his number too. I was like, this was probably about 2 months ago. I said, "Hey man, I'll hit you up one of these days to see if you're okay, all right?"
That's cool, man. That's
I
really
know, dude.
cool, man.
I'm probably gonna hit his ass up tomorrow morning, dude, and I wake up, man.
But that goes to show just how non-judgmental he is. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, nah, straight up, dude. Like I get judgment myself, though, dude. Like cause this dude, though, like I would like this guy, like I wasn't looking at him like, oh, if anything, he was in more danger of me picking him up and giving him a ride than he was from, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could have done worse things to him than
No doubt.
Like, you know, but, like, it was a good thing, you know, and, like, I don't know what it was, but that moment made me, I was like, dude, and you guys watch out, dude, we're going to have this guy, his name is Crazy Larry, we're going to have him on the show, maybe, most likely in the future, so you can look for it.
Larry. That's kind of cool.
You should tell the chats about your jam sessions, man. I've hung out in your jam sessions sometimes, man.
They might not ever be the same though, dude. We lost our drummer.
Oh man, that's all
know,
right. There'll be new drummers that come along. You might find one in the chat. You never know.
I was thinking about trying to do a StreamYard session with multiple people playing instruments.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. But yeah, he did some jam sessions where him and a couple cats were up in there with different instruments, really playing some real music, really going at it. I mean, that takes a lot of balls, man. Like, I don't think I could do it. I'd be too nervous.
We was nervous, dude.
Yeah, but y'all did great, man. No bullshit. I mean, it's not a professional thing, but that's what makes it so great, because you know it's just real shit, man. Some dudes kicking back with some instruments and they getting busy. You know what I mean? They had a singer and everything.
Oh yeah, our one buddy, dude. He came through. He surprised me, man, when he started singing that song, dude. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool, man. It was cool.
But we'll have to see what happens with that. I want to do the jam streams again in the future, man, because like that, I was having a lot of fun with that. Like, you guys know who John H is? He's a dude from Scotland. He's one of the chat. But like, the fact that this dude is from Scotland, he was like talking about like the music, and I was like, man, the fact you're from a place that really respects rock and roll music, dude. Like,
Right.
and like, you know, like, but this dude, like, I want to do more of them, but you know, I might just have to start playing the drums myself and shit one way. Like switching it up.
You know, in a shit hits the fan situation, and you're like all bugged out with your mag. It sure would be nice to have a couple dudes who know how to do music, because you're gonna have the fire going. You're gonna be eating your canned food, and to have some people jamming out, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Music is one of my passions. So I've been playing guitar since I was 13. I've been I've really been into it, man. But you know, I've had different points in my life where I wasn't able to. I had to sell my guitars and shit, dude. You know what I'm saying, dude? Like,
yeah, we all been there.
We still keep up with it.
Yeah, everybody's got a favorite pawn shop.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let me ask you this, man. I'm the question man. Just call me the question man. But how does the wifey feel about the prepping, man?
She loves it, dude. Like, she's really, at first she kind of didn't know what to think about it, but you know, as time's gone by, like, she has all the preps over there. So she probably has like a 2 years worth of food right now at the house and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Nice.
But like, and I'd rather, you know, until we unify houses again, I'd rather her keep that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll just walk over there and be like, all right, we're.
Mine, man.
Yeah.
Peace of mind when you got that food stored away like that.
Yeah, man. I think in the water, I don't know. Huh, I'm sorry.
I just said that's building wealth.
Exactly, man. I look at it like different ways. Like, I could trade some of that extra shit, man. Like, or I could and I would go back to the music real quick. I could trade maybe some of my musical skills and shit, or maybe me and my friends could like do some shit for somebody or some shit to get some food. We played something at somebody's wedding. Shit, it's the fan scenario or some shit. There probably won't be too many weddings though, but.
So I want to get your opinion on some things, man, because you know you're a little bit. I'm 46. I know Native's like 62, 63, and you know, just be what it is, you know. But I want to get that young mind on things, man. What do you feel? What do you think about the lockdowns, man? Do you think that America is going to have some lockdowns here pretty soon?
Dude, I think so. I think so for sure, man. Like, I think it sucks though, dude. Like I'm against it because it's taking away people's personal liberties. But you know what I'm saying. But I'm personally for it though, because I would love to stay home and shit and just focus more on my shit, dude.
You see the young mind, man, right there.
But I still value work though. You know what I'm saying. I still want to be able to work and shit. You know, but I don't want to have to like. But I don't want to because I don't feel like there is gonna be any unemployment and shit. My brother, he got paid like $18,000 in 6 months last year from unemployment. You know, dude. And I'm not hating on him and shit, but he'd get paid like $1,000 a week and shit from that stuff, dude. But this dude, I think that the lockdown's gonna bring that economic collapse, though. If we do another one of those, dude, it will bring that economic collapse, or we're gonna have like a Dust Bowl type shit happening.
Right. Well, I mean, they can't. The states have already stood up to that shit. So even if they try to do a federal lockdown, the states can say nah.
Do you think that causes
Even
CW?
certain counties in a state can say nah. If they can't get the law enforcement to lock people up for it, it's not going to work anyway, even if they could institute one. But the blue states will do it again because they just got this $1 trillion bailout. That's what all these $1 trillion bailouts are for, is to help the blue states that shut down the hardest. And I think you're right, though. We are definitely going towards an economic collapse. I was thinking about it today. I was getting gas at a gas station, and there's still fuel shortages popping up here and there, man. It's taking longer for gas stations to get. The company I work for, that's one of the things they do. They run fuel oil. They fill up diesel and gasoline at the gas stations, and they do propane too. So and so I've seen all these gas stations. They don't always have gas, but I think society is still here, and if it can limp on like this, I think for another year or two. But one thing I think could cause everything to crumble in a week, the way they got it now, the way they've eroded it. What y'all think?
Man, I think everything that we've been through, we could go through again tomorrow. You know what I mean? And it could be way worse.
Right.
You know?
What happens when they release a new variant that really is what they've been lying and saying it did? You know what I mean?
Because
Yeah.
we're talking about like the whole alphabet, like it's MU is the new one I was reading about that popped up on my main news on my phone.
I heard from what is it, Southern Prepper One. He said at the end of one of his videos, he was like, down in South Africa, there's a new one, and they said it's the most transformed variant so far. Kind of weird, man. Kind of weird.
Have you guys ever seen the movie Songbird before?
Yeah.
That's what I think that we're kind of heading towards. I feel like they kind of rushed that movie. Some of the scenes in it didn't make any sense to me, but yeah, you guys should check that out in the chat if you guys haven't seen that shit. It's pretty good.
I'm gonna post a link. I'm gonna post a link to some videos, and everyone in chat, man, go and watch this channel. I watch this channel. They do animations about explaining scientific stuff, and they did one on viruses, and they did one on the immunity, like how our immunity actually works. And I thought they were brilliant, very easy to understand. Because I think people need information. That's the whole thing about the whole pandemic that's pissed me off. They say, "Oh, the science, the data," but they never explain anything. Those are just words they use to try to justify what they're doing. But if people actually knew like how our immune system works, how we fight viruses and bacteria and stuff, and how viruses actually operate and act, I think it would open a lot of people's eyes to some truths, and they could be, because they're more informed, they can make better decisions. So I'm gonna drop some links to these two videos. You guys in chat, man, check them out.
Also, whoever hasn't seen it, you should check out Canadian Prepper's last video. He just dropped it a couple hours ago, but he got a letter from, because he has that store, and he got a letter. Just watch the video. He said it's probably one of the most important videos he ever put out. It's 10 minutes, and he's just talking about what's going on with products, the stuff he can get in and can't get in, and how much inflation. He explains the different sizes of like Mountain House, and how, the old bags were 132 ounces and the new ones are 105. And then he talks about what these companies that he gets his stuff from, they're sending him new, letters saying, hey, look, prices are going to go up this much, that much. He said something like a crate, not a crate, but one of those containers that you get shipped over from like China. It used to be like $3,500 to fill one up and get it shipped over. Now it's $28,000 to get one of those. He said it's multiplied by 8 times or some shit, man. But you should really go listen, because it's really going to let you know what we're about to go through with all this stuff that you're going to need. You're going to need food. You're going to need toilet paper. You're going to need medicines, all this shit that has to get shipped from all these places, and it's about to just skyrocket by what the letters that he was reading and saying what was going on with him and his company and stuff. Canadian Prepper, check it out, man. I think it was an important video. He explained it real good too, man. It's very eye-opening.
Check that one out. I didn't catch it. You know what? I haven't been getting any notifications for him. I need to check, make sure I'm still subscribed, man.
if we keep pushing these videos and these other channels, we're not gonna have nobody in the chat no more, man. You know what I'm
We're just
saying?
trying to get it out there, man.
I would like share a video and stuff, but I'm sure people would get mad as hell if we popped it on there and watched it, because then it's like we're getting the views off of them. So I'm just sending y'all wherever I've seen it.
You really think so?
I mean, I take clips from people's stuff, and I say, go watch the rest of it, you know?
Yeah.
And if they don't like it, they can tell me, and I won't use it.
And, I want to say this too. Angry Prepper did a live, was it last night? Dude, it was deep, man. Big shout out to Angry Prepper and all the firefighters and police and EMS in New York, because they just had them floods. And Angry Prepper did a live. If you missed the live, you should check it out, man. It was them dudes are superheroes, man, when it comes down to it. I mean, they had to get in the water. It explains why somebody could pass away in an apartment in New York if there was a flood. There was things that he talked about, and I was like, damn, I never thought about that. Like somebody living in a basement apartment, and the floodwaters come rushing in, and they're in a wheelchair by themselves. Like, how could they, you know what I'm saying? And he actually was going into these apartments. He was explaining how he had to walk through these apartments, you know, water up to his chest. And he was feeling around with his legs to see if he could feel this person that they knew in the apartment that they were in a wheelchair. And he said that he was just praying he didn't bump into the body. You know what I mean? But these are the things that these guys go through when there's a natural disaster or when there's an emergency going on. They dive right in. And just being in that water, because septic tanks overflow. There was water coming out of people's toilets. Like all of New York was just getting smashed by water coming out of drains. And here he is, he has to risk his life. Because, you know, if he has a little cut on his leg and he gets into some polluted water, he could catch something and die, man. All to try to help other people. They risk their lives, you know, all the time, man. So a big shout out to Angry Prepper and everything him and his peoples do when shit hits the fan, man.
AP, you the man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was a great live. Check it out if you missed it, man. It was really good. He showed clips of New York and all the different things that were going on, different floodings. And he showed this one place, he was like in a hallway, and there were steps that you could walk down. And you couldn't see the steps because of the water. The water was all the way up past the last step. And he would have had to walk down in it, and it would have been like water up to his waist and shit. And this was in a New York City apartment. Like, it's never happened before. It's never happened before. It's craziness, man.
They're trying to blame all that on climate change, I was reading.
Yeah.
I heard that more people died in New York than they did in Louisiana, though. From this hurricane.
Yeah. But I mean, the weather for the past year has been completely bonkers, man. From Texas being froze and people passing away to the heat up in Canada and in the Northwest. I mean, they're having record heat numbers for like a week straight, month straight, whatever it is. And then you got flooding going on in New York City. You got snow in South Africa. Like, it's just craziness going on, man.
Do you guys think it's global warming, or do you think it's like weather modifications? You know, they have the cloud seeding. You guys heard about cloud seeding?
Yeah.
Like, do you think all this stuff is from global warming, or you think it's... Because I've heard there's been, like, for thousands of years, people have been doing stuff, like, that are equally as bad today as it was, like, in Roman times.
Well, I'll tell you, I'll give you my honest opinion of what I think. Now, it ain't that I don't believe that humans are fucking with the weather, because I truly think we are. But do we have the power to fuck with the weather on a global scale? I'm not sure. But probably. But my honest opinion is, I think... You know, we've only been here, a couple thousand years, you know, maybe 10,000 years, 20,000 years, maybe 50,000. This world's been around a long time, man. This is a huge universe. I think the Earth goes through cycles and goes through things and changes, and it does what it does, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can blame the people, you can blame hairspray, you can blame... cars, and maybe that does affect some shit, but I think the earth is going to go through things. I mean, look, they say that the deserts used to be oceans and the oceans used to be deserts. So, I mean, shit changes. Shit happens. The earth's going to do what it does.
Yeah,
And that's what I think.
Man, the biggest producer of CO2 in our atmosphere is volcanic activity. I mean, the amount we put in the atmosphere is minuscule compared to what's naturally put there by volcanic activity. And I think you're right. And I saw people in the chat saying the same thing, that the Earth goes through cycles of heating and cooling on its own. We've had like several ice ages in the past few thousand years, and that's just the Earth regulating itself as different things change. It's constantly changing the mass of land. As volcanoes create new land masses and stuff, and earthquakes cause more land masses to seep under the sea, and it changes things. Do humans pollute? Of course we do. There's places that are polluted all over the world, and there's the Pacific Gyre that's full of just plastic and garbage that's constantly caught in these currents in the Pacific Ocean, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And there's whole islands of plastic and trash. Yeah, man, that's not good. There's whole species that have been eradicated by mankind, both plants and animals and everything in between. But life goes on. Life finds a way. It changes. It's designed to do that. God designed life to be able to change and become different things when it needs. So all this stuff about climate change and everything, it's not that I don't want, we don't believe in that stuff. It's that we don't believe that what they want us to believe about that. We're the cause, and if we don't do something now, if we don't do exactly what they say and do the Green New Deal, the whole Earth's going to be dead in 10 years, which they've been saying that for 30 now. So
yeah, because they want to sell some solar panels, or they want to...
Exactly. They want more power. They want to create a government agency so they can have even more power over us. Imagine if they controlled our energy, you know what I mean? And our transportation completely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta have the awkward silence.
Okay.
Gotta have the awkward silence at least once. What do you think? What do you think, Pilgrim? What do you think about the Earth right now?
I think that I've heard the story that back in like ancient times, whenever they'd be mining for all the materials they'd use to make their weapons or make materials for houses like nails and stuff like that, like they would be mining like almost a mile deep into the ground, and all the smoke and stuff from that. And then they also say with the pastoral, like like cows and stuff like that, and horses, like that causes the methane gas. They're saying back in those times, though, people mining for stuff that deep in the ground and all the smoke coming from that was creating a hole in the ozone too. And I don't like that's what kind of makes me feel a little bit like it kind of goes like that makes me not really trust the idea of it being climate change. And maybe like you guys are saying, it's something like there was a mini ice age during like the 1800s or something, I heard. So I don't think that. I think that it's. I don't think. I used to think it was HARP, but the more I think about it, I'm like, what reason would they have to be doing that shit? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just kind of think I'm like I could see some reasons, but nothing like really that's logical. That I kind of believe. I believe that that the climate change, though, it's been here like for. Like you guys said, it's naturally done to itself, though. But I kind of also believe, though, dude, it's not good to be like doing what we're doing to this Earth, though, man. I think that's also maybe we could accelerate it, though. We could accelerate the natural climate change.
Got you.
Long story short.
Yeah, very, very interesting. Very interesting. All right, man. Can we tap into it, man? We got to tap into this, man, because. It's going to be tricky, man. Some people might get mad at us. Some people might not. Some people might think what we say, and I'm not sure what y'all say about it. And I know y'all have no idea what I'm about to hit y'all with, but I'm about to hit y'all with something, man, because I think it needs to be talked about. I think it's something that needs to be talked about. Let's talk about QAnon, man. Let's talk about QAnon one time, man. How do y'all feel about that, man? I would say about 2 years ago, I watched a couple things on it on YouTube. You know, some shit, some not some shit, but some videos that tapped into it and was telling you this and telling you that and all the things that they say are going on and ain't going on. What do y'all feel about QAnon, man?
Can I say something real
Gilbert?
quick?
Quit.
The QAnon shaman was sentenced to 52 months in prison, or so that's what they said. I don't know, I think it's like 4 or 5 years or some shit. But I think that Michael Jackson, I heard that he was Q. I don't really think that, but I think this whole Q shit has gotten so crazy that there's so many. Q is probably just somebody sitting in some office somewhere in Washington D.C., just sitting there putting off all these tweets and putting off all these messages though. But I know the whole Michael Jackson being Q shit. Like I could see that more than I could see Donald Trump being Q. And I yield my thing.
What do you think,
man?
Nate?
All right, here's my. I don't think I've ever talked about Q on a live stream or anything. But here's my 2 cents on Q. When it first started coming out, I was like, "What is this?" I was interested because I'd never heard of it before. So I listened to what they had to say. It because it seemed to come from a Christian viewpoint. The whole thing that there's some kind of Illuminati type group with all the world's governments who are eating kids and doing demonic, satanic stuff and all this. I was like, dang, this is deep. But I don't really believe in it. The whole thing, the whole trust the plan thing, man. I'm tired of hearing that stuff. Y'all need to let it go. Every time y'all have a date, you say just trust the plan, and then nothing happens, and you choose another date. Just stop. Come on, man, stop with that stuff. But anyway, the thing is, there's aspects of it that I'm not saying that there aren't people in the government who are demonic or worship Satan. I'm not saying that. I don't know. I would believe that some of them are. Some of them believe some demonic shit, man. And I believe there's rich people out there who are doing some sick, nasty, disgusting stuff with kids. I believe that 100%. I believe like sex trafficking and with minors specifically is a world global problem, man. I watched a video one time that said there are 20 million sex trafficking slaves in the world. 20 million. Right now, there are people who are just slaves in a sex trade.
Wow.
There's real shit going on in the world. So I see where these people coming from. But I watched that video today. You sent me the link, Tribe, and I was just listening to different viewpoints on this stuff. And some people like to investigate it because it might be true and there's things that line up. But the lady Shar, she made a good point, and I like what she said, and I tend to agree with her that it is very possible that it is a big psyop, man, because all these different conspiracies all line up under the Q umbrella. And it's like, a bunch of people who believe in that stuff, the FBI have arrested them. They have made arrests to certain people who are doing this stuff, man. And what if that was the point? What if it was a honeypot to draw all these people in so they could be marked and see who's connected to who and all that stuff? It makes sense.
Let me ask you this, man. Do you think that Q goes too far with certain things that kind of puts a hurting on the movement itself? Do you think maybe the people that go a little too far with some wild stuff, and that probably makes it look bad? Do you think Q makes people look bad at times? Man, I don't know how to fucking ask the question, man, but y'all know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand.
Or do you think that maybe there's people that have got into it just to do that, to ruin it and ruin anybody who has anything to do with it?
Yeah, I believe 100%, man. Like there's a stink on Q now. All these platforms purging them. They've become a part of the evil side of the mainstream narrative. If you're a Q person, you're a crackpot. You're dangerous. You're crazy. You know, they go beyond just calling you conspiracy theorists. If you have anything on your social media backing or touching Q at all, they go back and try to use that to discredit you. They kicked off Marjorie Taylor Greene from all of her committees because she had posted some Q stuff like in 2018 or something like that. You know, they use it. It's a weapon now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't go either way on it. Like, I'm not against the whole movement, and I'm not for it. Like, I'm just not a part of it, I guess you would say.
Right.
But because I believe some of the stuff, and I guess that's with anything, man. There's some stuff you'll believe, and there's some stuff you'll be like, you know what I'm saying? But you know, I'm not shitting on anybody who follows it. I'm not shitting on. I just got questions. You know what I mean? I just figured we could talk about it, man, because you know it's out there, man. And I see sometimes that it actually it can help and it can hurt, because it can help because it brings so many people together. I see the channels that actually, you know, focus in on the stuff surrounding Q. And it brings a lot of people together, man. And I think that's a great thing, to have people come together and be questioning everything. Because I question everything. And I do believe there's little secrets here and there that you can pick out and pinpoint and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I think there's people out there that push certain things that really hurt everything. You know what I'm saying? It hurts the preppers. It hurts the homesteaders. It hurts the people that are legitly political in the right ways. You know what I'm saying?
I will say this though. I might not believe in the Q stuff, but do I believe that the global powers, people who run all these different countries and all these global banks and all these rich, wealthy people, these billionaires that we don't even know about and don't even see, do I believe they meet and plan stuff? 100%, absolutely. Of course they do. Look where the world is, man. It's very evident that is the case here. You know, what they call themselves, whatever, it doesn't even matter. It's the fact that they exist and they're doing it.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay, and I'm not trying to question y'all, and then y'all end up saying something and everybody gets mad at y'all. You know what I'm saying? I would never do that to y'all. So if you don't want to answer it, you don't have to. But do you think that Q actually helps more than it hurts, or does it hurt more than it helps? Good question, right?
Yeah. I'll let Pilgrim go first. I don't want to jump over.
I think that it helps in the sense that it gets people because I remember 10 years ago, I would be telling people, I'd be like, yeah, dude, I've been finding. I had nothing. Q didn't even exist back then in my mind though. But the shit about what the high level government, New World Order people, Bilderberg groups, the Bohemian societies, these these different guys, what they do to the Wayfarer stuff like that. I'd be telling people about this 10 years ago, in my personal life, and they'd get so offended so quickly. But I think the Q stuff is kind of opened people's minds, and they've kind of been more open to talking about, yeah, there is bad stuff that's going on. With the whole Epstein thing, that kind of helped out with opening people's minds to. But that's ancient though. That goes back to Mesopotamian and Babylonian ancient Luciferian religions doing all that bad stuff that they do. They're Luciferians, the New World Order. But I don't. But I believe that the Q though, I believe they have also been bad because they paint the Q as insurrectionists, and they paint everybody. They act like everybody connected with that is a racist of some kind, and it's connected to white supremacy is what Q is. And it's gotten to where if you say save the children, they act like that has something to do. But I think Q is a psyop as well. But that's as far as I go.
Got you. Yeah, it's a tricky thing, man. It's a tricky thing. I don't know, man. It really is. It's gotten. But this is something that I think about. I think the government and media are on this huge mission to confuse us all the time. Because if you're confused, you can never make a decision. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
I just wish there's got to be a way to use stuff like Q, you know, or some of the stuff that deals with Q, to use it in a perfect way that will help kill the confusion. I don't know if I'm saying this right or not, but we need to stop adding to the confusion. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, because it does not. Confusion is one of the worst things, man. I mean, look at the virus. Everybody is confused. People don't know what to fucking believe about it, or anything about anything that helps or hurts it, or what to do here or what to do there. Nobody knows shit. All we know is different YouTube channels telling us this and that, or Instagram memes, or you know what I'm saying. There's no solid motherfucker standing in front of us that we can trust, and I think that's what's going on with everything. We don't know why Afghanistan's happening. They never said why. They just lie to us and tell us this, and then they get on TV and say it was a glorious thing and blah blah, and we can see that it isn't. And why are they telling us this? And then everything is confusion. So I think we need to watch what we do on the side of things that we are, to be like, look, man, we need to help the people understand things and get shit clear. Let's not confuse them any more than they already are. That's just my point, man. I don't know if that made sense, but
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I'm gonna tell you my opinion on it, but Ghetto Prepper, I think you're right too, man. I see you in the chat, brother. I see you bring this up a lot. You talking about the black mirrors, the black screens, and I think you're right. All of us, from at a young age, have access to unlimited information all the time, and it's so much that it's so much like there's not facts anymore. There's just data that we have access to all the time. We have to process it, and it's hard. And you got this side over here saying no, this is truth, and this group saying no, this is the truth, and this group saying no, this is the truth, and this is the truth. And you're right. We have to try to parse out what's fact, what's truth. And Hutch says this all the time. Do your own research, and he's right. We have to find out. There is an ultimate truth. Something's either true or it's not. I don't care what the left says, what they try, how they change the dictionary in real time. Something's either true or it's not. You're either a man or you're not. You're either a woman or you're not. I'm sorry. That's it. Facts don't care about how you feel or any of that stuff. You either have a PP or a vagina. That's just it. That's what we're born with. We're human beings. That's the way it is. So as far as Q helping or hurting, I will say this: I've been in large Q chats, and who I've known. I'm not going to mention anyone by name, and I've known the creators, and they would bring me up, and a lot of people from those Q chat groups would come over to my channel, and they're still here. Some of them. There's people who's come from those channels, and they're good people. I think the Q thing draws people because we all feel like something's going on in our country and our government. And so we're looking for someone. We're looking for a group of people who feel the same way. And I think Q draws those people at first, and then a lot of them, start hearing all the deeper stuff about it, and they're like, I don't know about all the reptilian stuff and all that stuff, man. I think that turns some people away. Some people want to believe that, and I think that's where there's a split in Q between Christian folk and people who or church folk or whatever, however you want to classify them, and people who believe and that don't believe in that but believe in aliens and stuff like that.
right.
Which to me is like, you can believe in that, but you don't believe in God. I've never understood that. You'll believe that there are reptiles running our country and they have secret bases and stuff like that, but you don't believe in God and the Bible. I mean, that's kind of a stretch for me. That's just my opinion. I'm not putting you down if you believe in that. A lot of people believe in the reptilian stuff. I tend not to because it's not in the scripture. So
I think anything's
if you want
possible.
to believe it's demonic, if you want to believe it's demonic, I would agree with you. If you want to call demons reptilians, then that's common ground to me.
I think
Interdimensional.
just real quick, I think the number one best thing about Q, this is my opinion, the best thing about him that I like about it the most is that it really will make you question shit that you didn't even think about. And that'll make you question even more. And then it'll make you question even more. And everybody should be questioning. You should never watch CNN and take it for what it's worth. You should definitely question everything they're doing. You should never listen to some actor get on TV and be serious and say something political or say something you should do in your life. You should question everything. And I think that's one of the good things about Q, because it makes you question all and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Like even us, question us. And a lot of people do.
Yeah.
We're not up here saying we're preaching the 100% gospel truth. This is just our opinions. But Tribe's right, man. Question everything.
Yeah. We about an hour and 55 minutes in. I'm gonna cut it at 2 hours. So
right.
We got about another 5 minutes, man. So anything y'all want to talk about or get into, man? I don't know how y'all feeling tonight, man. Y'all want me to do a round 2 again? In the chat, it's up to y'all, man. I've been throwing this out here lately, man. We've been doing
a round 2 tonight.
Huh?
I said I'm not feeling a round 2, man.
You never do, man. You never do.
Whatever that one time.
Press 1 if you're feeling a round 2. Press 2 if you're like, man, I've had enough YouTube, man. Tribe will catch y'all next time. Press 1 if you down for a round 2. Press 2 if you ain't down for a round 2. What's up with you, Pilgrim? You down for a round 2?
Round 2? Hell yeah, I'm down for a round.
Pilgrim's like, I'm always down.
Yeah, definitely like an hour into it and shit, dude.
Oh shit, we got some ones popping. Monty's like, nah, man, I'm done. SK Keith, man, I'm done.
What the hell is 0.5, man? What's that mean? How you feeling?
Ghost Pepper's like, man, I don't care what the hell y'all do. Let me give him a 3.
Ghost, where you been, man? School's getting hard, ain't it?
Anybody?
I'm actually gonna use the bathroom real quick and shit, then get ready and shit.
All right, man. You gonna tap out then? You want to tap out?
Nah, dude, I want to keep on. Are we gonna keep on going on this stream, dude?
Well, yeah, just cut your camera and stuff, man. If you don't get back in time, by the time I cut this, man, you'll be in the backstage with me and Native. Because if I start around 2, it'll be like 10 minutes from after I end the show anyway. So.
Okay. I'll be right back for you guys. 1 second.
All right.
All right. Let me ask the chat.
I'm gonna ask Tribe a question. All
right. Let me ask the chat real quick, man. Does anybody want to jump on the panel on the round 2? If anybody wants to jump on the panel in the round 2, hit me with a 1. Hit me with a 1 real quick. Because if I got to do this shit by myself, man, I'm going to be like, damn, man, damn. I'm going to
have to do the voice and shit, you know what I'm saying? And act all goofy and crazy and shit.
You have to bring out the classics.
Right.
All right, man.
1 plus native. See, man, how you going to leave us, man? What you got to do? You ain't got to work tomorrow, man. You can hang for like 10 minutes or something.
Man, I love y'all.
Peer pressure.
I know, right?
F. Holmes said 1/2. Are we gonna have cake and tea for round 2? Money said. All right, what you gonna ask me, man? You about to hit me with something, ain't you?
I was.
Yeah, you said you wanted to ask me a question.
We were talking to Ghost, and he was talking about the monthly live stream with me, you, him, and Hutch.
Oh, did he ask about that?
Yeah, in the email.
Oh yeah, in the email. Yeah. What's up?
The 4 Horsemen. What you think? I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, hell yeah. I told him I'm down, man.
We know we gonna get up there. Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah. When's he want to do it, man? He's got to hit me up and let me know.
You just said in the chat he was quarantined, man. You got the thing? You got the bug, Ghost?
Well, shit, you got all kinds of time on your hands then.
Oh, man.
Shit, I'm down, though. I'm down.
I think it'd be fun, man.
So that was your question, man?
Yeah, I just want to ask what you thought about it.
Damn, I thought you were gonna hit me with one. I thought you were
was
gonna
gonna
get
hit
me
you with
good.
something.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
too close, man.
Like, will I hang out with ghosts? I mean, really? You have to ask that question? You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, I'll hang out with ghosts. Shit.
All right.
Ghosts.
He was exposed.
Man, me and Ghost are like we text each other with serious shit. Like when I'm dealing with a health issue or something, I'll hit Ghost up. I'll be like, man, damn, man, my ass hurts. He'd be like, man, why are you talking to me about your ass? You know what I'm saying? My left butt cheek's numb, Ghost. Man, what's going on, man? You ever had that happen before?
Like that's like a 3 a.m. text.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, we're gonna go ahead and end it. We at the 2-hour mark. I'll go ahead and run around too, man. Hopefully some of y'all come over and hang out with us. We'll see how it goes and shit. I'll throw the link in the chat on the next one, man. Maybe a couple of y'all can jump on with me and hang out. But we appreciate y'all being here. Everybody that joined the memberships, I really, truly appreciate y'all. We're going to have some fun with it. And thanks, Pilgrim, for being here. Thanks, Native, for being here. Thanks, everybody in the chat for being here. We love y'all and see y'all in about 10 minutes. I'll set it up for it's 12:05. I'll set it up for 12:15. That way we can all get a drink, use the bathroom, do what we got to do. I'll set it up. See y'all then if y'all come over. Thanks for being here. We out.
Good night. God bless.